Hi everyone, welcome to Shiprocket Growth webinar. We are going to start in another 5 minutes. Thanks for the wait. We'll be waiting for the other attendees to join. It's going to be super exciting. We have some special guest. We'll be disclosing the name soon. Stay connected. Guys, just 5 minutes to go. We'll be starting in next 5 minutes. Stay tuned. Just waiting for other attendees to join. So guys, let's begin with the webinar. Today we have our experts. Vineet Buddhiraja and Sumit Jain from Shiprocket team. So Vineet leads logistics operations at Shiprocket and Sumit leads enterprise sales and Shiprocket. And Sumit holds like 15 years of extensive experience in category management, P&L, ownership, sales, BD, account management domain across consumer durable and financial services industry. Vineet has an extensive professional experience of demonstrated history of success in the internet industry. He's also skilled in supply chain design and operation. So over to you guys, and let's brief our audience about how we do SDD and NDD at Shiprocket and how we are making how we are disrupting the D2C and the e-commerce industry over the globe and India.
Hey, great. Thanks a lot, Gaurav, for this illustrious introductions of both of us. Thank you, Vineet, for joining today on the webinar and discussing on the topic, which is SDD, NDD, or faster deliveries, and how to wow customer experience by delivering faster to the consumer. I think this is a topic which is personally very, very close to my heart as well. As you know, what I've understood in the last 17, 18 years of my e-commerce experience and other experiences is that one thing which is a short success to winning in any market or in any industry is to actually delight the customer. And then one of the in the industry, in the e-commerce industry or in the internet world, faster deliveries is something which is absolutely a delighter to any consumer today. In fact, you would not come across anybody as a consumer who would say that I do not want fast deliveries, or I do not want larger selection or a better pricing. So yeah, these are the three pillars of any internet company's success today in the market, and we are very delighted to touch upon, on one of the pillars, which is delighting customer experience to faster deliveries, or next day or same day deliveries, as we call it here in our parlance. I'm super excited and delighted to also welcome Durgesh. Durgesh, if you could just switch on your, yeah, there you are. Hi, Durgesh. Durgesh, I think you're, yes. Hi, Durgesh.
Hi.
Durgesh has been, a close business associate with Shiprocket, and more than that, has been a very good friend personally, with me and my team. And then, I'm excited and, absolutely delighted, Durgesh, to have you here. Just to, share some details about Durgesh's work history with our audiences today. I think Durgesh, possesses about 13, 14 years of extensive experience in working with D2C brands across the industry here, and majorly leading the logistics and the supply chain management functions working across these companies. If I'm not wrong, Durgesh, you've worked with companies like Mamaearth, Live Pure, and very recently you are leading the entire supply chain function at Edom group of companies, or Bella Vita and Bevzilla, as people popularly know your brands as. And before we delve more into the topic for the day today, Durgesh, I think it'll be a disservice to the audiences if we do not first hear from you your experiences of working across in the industry over these years, and specifically some of the things that you have learned scaling Bella Vita and Bevzilla and the other group of brands in Edom Group to the scale that it is right now at. So over to you, Durgesh. Why don't you tell a little bit more about your journey so far, some of the challenges that you have faced, and specifically with relation to how Shiprocket might have helped you in solving some of these challenges here.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sumit, for such a detailed introduction about me. So yes, I am very closely associated with this online and this digital industry so far. So having said that, being carrying a 13 or 14-year experience within the supply chain from the day one of my career. So I've I was associated on the very early days with the the 3PL company, where I've learned about the detailed aspect of the supply chain. I mean, the core of the supply chain, which I always say that it comes from the warehouse experience. So one who has gained an experience within the warehouse, then they are the master of the supply chain. So from carrying that warehousing, then working with the companies like Dabur, JK Group, Health Card, this Mamaearth, Live Pure, and currently associated with Edom House of Brands from since the last 2 years, and heading the supply chain for the multiple brands with them. So one thing is I would like to differentiate is from the early, I mean the so-called legacy brand 10 years back, and now the differentiation is that time they were not interacting with the directly with the consumer. They were not available, they were not near to the consumer as currently we are. So let's say any brand who is dealing into the the energy drink, they want to launch a new product, they will definitely go with the consumer. They have the database of the consumer. They will go to the consumer, they will do the sampling, and will try to launch a possible the best drink ever as compared to the earlier one, because they were purely offline heavy. There the channel from the company to the consumer was such a heavy one. So while working with the industry, as I've said, that what is the differentiator as of now, what matters for the consumer is the experience. Experience in terms of the the delivery is the experience, the right product at the right time, in the right quality and the quantity as well. So this matters a lot for the consumer as of now. I personally believe that price has placed the second seat now as compared to the 10 years back. 10 years back, nobody has even thought that the vegetables, the fruits, and the so-called grocery will be available near to our house, which can be placed by a click and will be available within the 10 minutes of after placing the order. Nobody even has thought about the model of the Blinkit, Zepto, and this Amazon Prime, I would say, and and a lot of players are also coming up with a lot of wow experience, which Shiprocket has also by launching this NDD and SDD program, where a consumer can place an order and get the product as early as possible. So there are multiple benefits which we will talk about later of this NDD and SDD also. As I have explained about that time we were not available, not associated with the consumer as we are, and there were a lot of other problems also, like that it was any brand was not so-called technology heavy, which we are. Transparency is not there. So think from a consumer perspective. I am a consumer, I have placed an order, then the brand or the Shiprocket will give a real-time update that I placed an order, my order has been picked up from the warehouse, then it is still in transit, it has reached near to you, it will come to the delivery, this is the delivery boy number, you can call him. So the entire transparency is with the consumer. And this as we all know that speed matters a lot to the consumer. So this is my overall experience about the D2C. And if we talk about the role of the Shiprocket as an aggregator, so Shiprocket has solved a lot of problems for the brands, even to the consumer, as we have talked about the transparency in terms of a data. Because a thing from a small brand who cannot manage a multiple partner onto their system, and Shiprocket has helped us as an aggregator. They have helped us to increase their serviceability, because you are having such a variety of network where you will be given a entire serviceability to your brand. So I can get an order from across the geography, along with a lot of value added services, like the NDR, which plays a very vital role in terms of a conversion if any failed attempt is placed. In terms of a working capital management, where you guys are helping, the early COD remittance, also the allocation engine, which we have talked about. So let's say if I would have been working directly with the player as an earlier, was managing the 10 different or a 20 different partner with me, then I'll have to build the entire capacity within my system, and to allocate my order to the best possible courier partner, who is performing bad, who is performing good on a daily level. There will always be ups and downs as compared to the seasonal of the of the year. Then
Right.
it will come as an festival days, where the demand would be high, where the entire the network will be on toast. So you guys has helped us a lot in terms of managing these ups and downs also. Yeah.
I think the way I would put that across is, and thank you, Durgesh, for acknowledging this and sharing some your insights and also some good words about the work that the team has enabled to do and deliver some of the delights for your customers, for your brands and all. But yeah, I think the way I would sum it up is, because I think information and data is the king here, is the key here, right? And what Shiprocket has been able to do, I would say somewhat effectively is to use that data intelligently and create actions based on the data insights, and then deliver those delight experiences for your customers, for your brand's customers and all, right? So I think that's one of the keys. And one of the other things that you touched upon very interestingly, Durgesh, is I think I'm also fascinated, and have been closely associated with the e-commerce industry myself since last about 10 odd years. Before here, just to let the audiences know, I was a part of launching fashion business here in India at Amazon, right? So I've been closely associated with the online journey right from the start of the days till what has graduated into right now. What has been fascinating all these 10 years is, the way brands' aspirations are now changing to compete with the Amazon experiences in their own D2C websites, right? What I mean by that is, let's say if anybody else has a marketplace or anywhere else is, if the experience that they're offering is of a faster delivery, of better communications, of ensuring that there are no, the shipments are reaching safely and timely to the consumers, and so on and so forth, enabling returns, So managing all of these things, as you rightly mentioned, for a brand of your scale also becomes challenging, because you have to deal with multiple companies, multiple people, and so on and so forth. And which is where maybe Shiprocket is coming and helping in to solve that problem, and alike for small brands and for large brands. And the problem that you have experienced in your journey, even in the larger brands, I'm sure the problem becomes even more acute for any brand who are aspiring to become large or at a smaller scale right now, and hence that comes with its own sets of challenges to scale with that pace, and then to work with multiple complexities and people becomes that much challenging. So extremely delighted, and thank you for touching upon these points, Durgesh. Without any further ado, maybe we'll quickly jump into the topic of the day, and I'll hand over the mic and the panel now to Vineet to take us through the agenda for the day, and then take us rest through the day of the topic that we are in discussion today, which is SDD NDD. Over to you, Vineet.
Sure. So thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you, Gaurav, for the generous introduction. Thank you, Sumit. And we also have Durgesh on the panel. Thank you, Durgesh, for joining in. Such a delight to have you on the panel. So quickly taking everyone through the agenda of the day. So SDD NDD has been a highly requested topic in all our webinars, right? People want to deliver on speed, right? And in the last 12 months, what Zepto, Blinkit, Swiggy, Instamart has solved for e-commerce in India, right? Everybody wants, even the consumer is looking for faster solutions, right? So we will talk about how same day and next day delivery ecosystem overall is evolving in India, right? While all the businesses are moving to same day and next day deliveries, how is this helping the business, right? Are you looking at it only from a cost lens or a performance lens or a delight lens? We'll share a more business view on how SDD NDD can help you grow the business. We'll also touch upon how Shiprocket has solved for it, right? We work with 10 plus partners right now. It's a very difficult problem to crack. How Shiprocket has invested over the last 12 to 18 months to crack this problem for our sellers, right? We'll also hear views from Durgesh on how Bella Vita has used it, right? It's great to hear a brand view on how they see things, right? So you would be able to hear a big brand view on how it can help your consumers, right? And then again, we have a bonus slide on how can you delight your customers with drones, right? While the West has been talking a lot on the drone delivery, we in India have been able to do it, and we have been able to do it at scale. Right. And then in the end, we will cover the SDD and NDD network. We'll talk more about how we cover the intracity, intercity, metro NDD in detail. Do stay with us. And then we'll also be taking Q&A in the end. Do type in your comments in the chat box or in the Q&A box. We'll be taking it at the end. Gaurav, can you move to the next slide? Yeah. So the quick commerce wave, right? I remember, right, in 2014-16, when the e-commerce started, right, it was more of an option purchase, right? People were not used to going to e-commerce sites to purchase, right? People were rather comfortable in going to offline markets, and e-commerce came as an option. Yes, I can. And right, and then at that time, people were very happy that, okay, I can get my shipment in 7 days, even in 10 days. There were portals who were giving delivery timelines up to 15 days, right? And people were somewhat happy there, right? Because the aspirations was not there, right? And then the e-commerce has become an integral part of everybody's life, right? Integral part of everybody's life. It's not only optional purchase, but it's more of a need purchase as well. So from 2014-15, we have evolved to a 2 to 3 day delivery or a 3 to 5 day delivery till 2022. And then we had again a exponential jump in consumer aspirations, where we said that, okay, no, we need the shipment same day, or at best we need it next day, right? So the quick commerce platforms, right, have grown by 77% in the last. We expect this journey to continue for the next 5 years, right? And this is not only about metro cities, right? It is very important to, while I get a lot of questions that is it the metro customer only looking at SDD NDD? No, it is not only the metro customer. All the consumers today are looking for faster solutions, be it tier 1 city, be it tier 2 city or a tier 3 city. Everybody is looking at a faster solution. Somebody who is getting shipments in 3 days is looking at a 1 day solution, right? Somebody who is getting the shipment in 5 to 6 days is still looking for 1 day or a 2 day model to give it to their consumers, right? So with Blinkit coming in, with Zepto coming in, the SDD, NDD is growing like anything, right? And again, if you go to any D2C platform, or even if you go to Amazon or Flipkart, you will see them giving the consumer an option to buy it next. And I'll take the example of Amazon, right? Amazon will show to a Prime customer, they can deliver it next day. To a non-Prime customer, they would charge 99 rupees, right? So people are also ready to pay some premium to get that service, right? So, Gaurav, can you move to the next slide? Yeah. So, 80% of the shoppers are looking to buy it the next same day or the next day, right? And again, right, you talk to a customer in Jaipur, you talk to a customer in Rohtak, you talk to a customer in Pune, Nagpur, Mysore, any tier 2, tier 3 city, right? And this is not only about metro customers. They want it next day. They want it immediately, right? If you can give it same day, very good. If you can't give it same day, it has to be next, right? You can't delay it to a 3-day, 5-day. Gone are those days, right? And again, right, even from a consumer point of view, you have to think, right, it is fighting directly with the offline purchases. If I need something, right, I'll go place an order on the D2C website, right? And then if I see, okay, it is coming in 3 to 5 days, I'll think that, okay, I can go to market. I know this shop, I know this market, I can get this thing right up. But when I understand that, okay, this is going to come today evening, or when I understand this is going to come tomorrow morning, right, I'm like more comfortable that, okay, this is going to come, right? And with the added advantages of return, etc., all those things, we win from the offline market. It's about a fight with the offline market. And again, right, if you look at the consumer psyche, 25 to 30% of the consumers will abandon the carts if they find the delivery timelines 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, right? You go to any D2C platform. Let's take the example of Amazon. You will see it on the product description page. They will show when they are delivered. You go to any website, they will show a widget saying that this can get delivered by this day. And if the date is 5 days, 7 days ahead, you will have lower conversion rate. And you will think, why are people not buying? I have a great brand, I have great pricing, but even not delivering on convenience, right? It's a world of convenience. Anything that is solving for convenience today is going to scale. NDD, SDD is one solution which is giving that convenience to consumers to sit at home, buy anything that they need, and this is going to grow. And Gaurav, can you go to the next slide? Yeah. So again, right, this industry is going to be $10 billion, right? Close to 85,000 crores in next 4 to 5 years. Think about that, right? Everybody is investing. All the big biggies are investing, right? It's not only about Blinkit, Zomato doing it, right? Amazon is investing, Flipkart is investing, all the big courier companies are investing, Shiprocket is investing, because we understand this is where the future is. People are going to move to that. And if you're a D2C brand, this is not only going to be a wow factor anymore, right? This is going to be a need. If you're not offering next day delivery to your consumers, you're going to be phased out. People are not going to look at you as a premium brand, right? It's more about the hygienes now. And again, right, like I mentioned, people are ready to pay for it, right? Amazon charges 99 rupees. Many website charges 30 to 50 rupees to ship this shipment faster, right? You will see on the website, options will come, whether you want a normal delivery. In case you want a rush delivery, you can pay 30 rupees extra, 50 rupees extra, and then shipment can come to you same day or the next day, right? So people are ready to pay for it as well. Yeah. Gaurav, can you move to the next slide? Right. Like I was mentioning the example of Amazon, right? So Amazon, everybody is familiar with Amazon. So we wanted to start with Amazon on what Amazon is doing. And ultimately, I feel all the D2C players are fighting the experience with Amazon or Flipkart or Myntra, right? It is where the consumer is thinking that, okay, this particular thing, right? Whether it is a eyewear, whether it is a t-shirt, whether it is a shoes, whether it is a beauty thing, right? I understand I can buy it directly from the seller, or I can go to Amazon, or I can go to Nykaa to buy it, right? And you're fighting that Amazon experience with that consumer, right? This is what Amazon shows. Free delivery with Prime tomorrow. And go to Amazon, I think more than 70% of the products, you will get that tomorrow. You will see that. Because they are investing in it. They also understand it is not only about consumer needs, it helps improve the performance. It helps improve the conversion. Ultimately, whatever cost you are putting in, you're getting more than that. It is making a complete business sense to give that same day or a next day delivery. They're not just saying that, okay, my consumer demands a class experience, but it is adding a cost to me. No, this is actually saving cost for you, because ultimately the delivery cost is getting lower. Every delivered shipment is going to cost you lower. And again, customer lifetime value and all those things will also come. We also have two examples from other D2C brands where Grip is one of them, and one more, right? You can see on the widget, right? They they clearly show that, okay, this is when the shipment is going to get delivered. This is not on the checkout page. This is not after taking your address. They write on the product description page where you see the price. This is as important as pricing, guys. This is as important as pricing, that while you have to price your products in a very competitive way, you also have to give aggressive timelines on the delivery. Right? This is super, super important from a consumer experience point of view. Yes. Gaurav, we can move to the next. So on the Shiprocket, right? While many of you know, Shiprocket has invested a lot to solve for this, right? And while you're able to integrate with multiple channels with us, we have lot many products. Wixo is there, Engage is there, Checkout is there, Faster is there, all those things, right? Specifically on the SDD NDD part, right? We have worked with 10 plus partners. It is not an easy proposition to crack. You need to understand the demographics of the city very well. This does not work on the traditional hub and spoke supply chain models that we have seen, right? It needs a different model to quickly deliver, right? While on the quick commerce, 10-minute, etc., you need a dark store, etc. We have made it possible without keeping your inventory. You don't need to store inventory in my warehouse to offer same-day delivery to your customers or next-day delivery. This is what we have made possible, right? We understood from many seller calls that, okay, keeping inventory in one location ultimately becomes a huge working capital loss, right? The predictability is not there. And if we go at SKU level, it's very difficult to predict what will sell in what area, right? So it became at a point not feasible for many of the sellers to send inventory, right? And then we thought, no, this needs to be done in an innovative way. We can't go back to the traditional ways of doing it and expect the seller or expect the consumer to send shipments in the warehouse, right? We said, okay, we'll make the solutions where we are picking the shipment right from the seller premises and giving it to the consumer in 4 hour period or in 6 hour period or in the same day or the next day, right? Whatever is feasible, making sure. Gaurav, you can move to the next slide. So this is a India view. I really like this map. This is where we offer same day deliveries or next day deliveries. And we are live in 100 plus shipping lanes. I think if I talk about a volume coverage, you should be able to cover 30 to 40% of your volume, 30 to 40% of your consumers through same day or next day delivery solutions. And this is going to grow. We invested in this over the last 18 months. The journey for us started more like giving same day deliveries or a next day delivery only in metros, right? It started with an intra-city solution for us where we said, okay, maybe to a Delhi consumer, we will give it. And again, the same thought process, right? Maybe only the metro consumer needs it, right? We started with that thought in our mind also 18 months back, and we said, okay, maybe Delhi, we have to give it same day, we have to give it next day. And then we said, no, Mumbai, all metros we have to cover. Mumbai, let's do. Bangalore, Kolkata. We aced that in next 3 to 6 months. And then we said, no. There's not only a metro city problem, right? All the consumers are looking for those convenient solutions, right? We need to expand it. So if you're a consumer, if you're a seller sitting in Delhi, right, we can ship your products next day to Jaipur, Meerut, Jalandhar, Chandigarh, right? All those cities wherever it is feasible from the road network, right? We also invested and said, right, why can't we do Delhi to Mumbai, right? Why does a seller need to open a warehouse in Mumbai or Bangalore, right? It's very difficult for a smaller seller to have 4 or 5 warehouses, right? Bigger seller, a big D2C brand might be able to do it, but then if you're talking about a smaller D2C brand, it's very difficult for them to invest into 4 or 5 warehouses, right? And then how can we solve it, right? And then we said, okay, you need a Delhi Mumbai next day, we can do it. You need a Delhi Bangalore next day, we can do it. And then we said, okay, we need to connect all the metros there. And this, I think this network is not available anymore. We are working with 10 plus partners, and we've invested a lot with them on cracking the processes, right? It becomes at times very complicated, very minute things to be solved. And then we have cracked it with 10 plus partners, standardize the operations with them, right? You can go with one partner, two partner, but then you will only be able to solve for 1 lane, 2 lane, 3 lane, and that too with a non-standardized experience for your end consumer, right? We have solved it with 10 plus partner, 100 plus lanes. We have been able to give a 98% adherence on the same day delivery or next day delivery part. And again, right, we have been able to come up with innovative solutions, right? If you think, okay, you need a 1 p.m. pickup, you need pickup till 1 p.m., you need to deliver it by 8 p.m. We have been able to solve for that as well, right? So keeping different consumer personas in mind, right? We've been able to come up with multiple solutions on what can be offered to the consumer and to scale the brand as well. Yeah. And with this solution, right, we have been able to solve it for multiple brands, right? It's not only about one brand. I think we have 100 plus brands live with these solutions. And it has more been a pull scenario for us, right? Rather than us telling them, okay, this is where we are. It's more about brands coming to us and saying that, okay, can you do Delhi to Jaipur? Can you also do Delhi to Agra? There are a lot of Agra customers that I have. I'm planning a promotion in Meerut or in UP Belt, but my warehouse is in Delhi. Can you ensure customers get the shipment in next day? Can you ensure they get by 2 p.m., etc., right? So we have been able to solve for it with multiple brands. So no better than Sumit to explain how we have aced it for the brands, the brand stories and all those things. So Gaurav, can you move to the next slide? So before that, right, I'll touch upon these things as well, right? While in a normal shipment journey, right, you will see that the shipment life cycle is 45 days, right? This has been the standard going across the industry that, okay, the shipment life cycle is going to be 45 days. So if your order has got shipped, even if it is RTO'd or delivered or untraceable, all those things would take a 45 days for things to get settled from a reconciliation point of view. In SDD, NDD, we also said this is also a problem. This becomes a working capital problem for our sellers. How can we solve it? Because again, if we are delivering in 1 day, right, we can't take 45 days to do the reco, right? We said, okay, this has to be 15 days. I've discussed internally with my team, how can we make it 10 days and then take it to 7 days, right? But right now we are doing it in 15 days. So all your shipment life cycle will get closed in 15 days. Again, from a performance point of view, right? This leads to lesser COD rejects, right? Any impulse purchase, a lot of purchases come through performance marketing, right? And then through performance marketing, there is some impulse that customer has that, okay, अच्छा लग रहा है, I like this product, I like this pricing, let me buy it, right? And then if you take 5 days to deliver that shipment, right, that intent has gone, right? That intent is out of the window, and then you will see higher RTOs to the tune of 30, 35, 40%. And then you will think that, okay, the product was very good. The customer did not open it, right? Returns is a very different thing, but customer rejecting the shipment at a doorstep, and it becomes an ecosystem problem, right? The shipment is just traveling without any end destination, right? It's a wastage. It's an ecosystem wastage. With SDD, NDD, you will be able to have much better delivery percentage. The impulse purchase, if I bought something at 11 a.m., I'm still excited about the product next day, right? I'm equally excited about the product. But if you are going to give me the product in 3 to 5 days, really sorry, but again, you will see higher RT. That's going to happen. Again, on the cash flow part, it really helps with the next day remittance. Again, solving for the working capital needs are right. And then we connected back to the consumers. That, okay, how was the experience with this brand? This brand gave you same day delivery or next day delivery. How was the experience? We saw 15% better increase. This means more conversions, right? This means more repurchases, more lifetime value for you, more sales. So this is net and net, more from a business point of view, making a lot of sense, moving into this direction. The industry is moving into this direction. If you're not doing it, you're definitely missing out on some percentage of conversion, some percentage of the consumer. And in the going next 12 to 24 months, this is going to be a must-have thing rather than a wow thing. Yeah, Gaurav, we can move to the next slide. So on the brands part, I would like to invite Sumit again to talk more about it, how this has really helped some of our top brands.
Thanks, Vineet. I think to summarize what you just mentioned, Vineet, and for the audiences and also recapping it for them, I think the key are two aspects, right? One is for some brands, for a smaller scale brand or even a larger scale brand to be able to successfully offer SDD or an NDD experience to the brand, one would need a plug and play kind of a solution, because the SDD NDD offering is so diverse and so dispersed across the country today that it's practically impossible for any brand of any scale to actually manage it on their own, the complexity that it involves and all, right? I think what Shiprocket team has been able to successfully do over the past 12 to 18 months has been to able to really make it plug and play. And then we have seen how brands have been able to expand. And that's also, not only is helping the brands create a customer delight, but it is also very, very beneficial to the brands in terms of the other metrics that the brands are able to enjoy because of the HDD service, which is faster remittances, helping them improve their workflows, better conversions, better NPS scores, and so on and so forth. So it's win-win for the customer, for the brand, for the ecosystem. So and plus when it's available as a plug and play option to the brands, I think that is where it starts creating a lot of difference. And and thanks to the team, and we need to you and to your team to be for enabling all the brands of all scales to be able to use it with that ease, I would say. And that is a testimony, right? Where which explains why we today have so many brands, as you all can see in the screen, who are already using NDD, SDD, and drone delivery services with us, right? Some of the examples, and of course, we have Bella Vita, and we'll delve very quickly into the small case study of how SDD, NDD helped Bella Vita to improve their experience for the customers, but also their own internal metrics, which they were able to get better at. But yeah, and some of the other brands, to give you some examples and some snippets of why their brand, what what these brands are using NDD for. I think some very interesting examples here, and I would like to throw some light on that for our audiences. You see the name over here, Zomato, and I'm sure a lot of you must be wondering why Zomato is using SDD NDD service with Shiprocket, right? I think it's a fun fact, right? We at Shiprocket are actually powering Zomato to help them reach their kits, raincoats, jackets, delivered to their delivery agents in time and next day. And, we are actually helping Zomato to delight their delivery agents so that they can then use some of these, the kits in which they carry and they travel your food items, or the jacket they wear to read out the chilling winter season at winters, or the raincoats during rainy seasons, which they wear to make sure that your food is safe and they themselves are safe. Zomato uses us or Shiprocket's SDD NDD service to delight their delivery agents so that they can in turn delight customers at the end of the day, right? So we have been able to power their aspirations to our SDD NDD offering. Zomato uses around 14 to 15 warehouses of Shiprocket network today, where they store all of these materials for their delivery agents and all. And then we have been able to enable around 70% of their overall networks fulfillment through SDD NDD network by planning very meticulously with them. So yeah, so that's the story behind very quickly behind Zomato. We have players like Nobero and Snitch, who were very, very peculiar about ensuring that their at least in the metro cities, right, their customers, their products reaches to their customers in a jiffy. Their aspirations were to actually compete with the Mintras and Amazons of the world, where they threw a problem to us and said that if Amazon is able to deliver between metro cities, and they were not present in all destinations, because being a fashion brand, it's a very large assortment, and whenever you have a large assortment, it is virtually impossible for a brand to actually place bulk of their shipments or bulk of their inventories closer to the customers where the demand is sitting, right? And hence the challenge was to actually overcome that problem and still ensure faster deliveries and beat some of the marketplaces, in terms of the speed experiences that they were offering on these brands only. So we actually then worked with these players, Nobero and Snitch over here, to offer them customized air NDD services offerings, which they are, using to, again, delight their customers. Again, very interesting story. You see maybe some of the lesser known brands, which are towards the end of the slide, which is Jesora and Pimpon. Gaurav, if you could just point out these two brands for the audiences by moving your cursor to them. These two brands, Jesora, for example, is a brand based out of Jaipur. Bulk of their customers were in Delhi NCR. So about 25-30% of their orders were coming from Delhi NCR as a region. Again, it's a fashion kurti brand based out of Jaipur, hand block printers, beautiful designs and all. But they were facing this challenge where they wanted to offer from Jaipur, from their warehouse in Jaipur or manufacturing facility in Jaipur, to offer next day services to their customers in NCR. Now, even air was not fulfilling because there's not much of a connectivity of air. And in fact, national players like Blue Darts and others who are traditional air players do not offer air connectivity in lanes like Delhi to Jaipur or Jaipur to Delhi, vice versa, right? We actually sat down with the team, and in turn sat down with our courier partners to study the feasibility of opening up a lane between Jaipur to Delhi NCR as next day delivery. And we are delighted to present to you that we were able to do that very successfully. And 90% of their NCR demand is now getting served as NDD or next day delivery, sitting out of Jaipur, right? So that's something which the team has been able to do. Again, very similar story of Pimpon. Pimpon, I'm not very sure if people are very aware. It's a recent internet social media sensation. They sell these, Adivasi hair oil or treated hair oil, which helps you retain your hair growth, or helps you grow your hair and look beautiful and young. And it's an internet sensation, overall overnight. It's a duo of mother and daughter who run this brand based out of Coimbatore. And, all their inventories, everything, they're a small brand, just about 6 months young into the D2C space. They do not have a prior experience or a very large team of running an operations which would be helping them to do or cover next day deliveries for their customers in southern region and all. Again, for Pimpom as a brand, we were able to curate a solution which helped them, offer next day delivery sitting out of Coimbatore for their customers to customers at Chennai, Bangalore, and some of the other nearby places in South as a city. So yeah, very happy to share some of these examples. I'm sure we are hopeful. We are maybe aspiring some of the guests who have joined us today in the webinar, and we'll very soon see some new names being mentioned over here. And one of them would be, or a few of them would be from the people who've joined us today in the webinar today. Gaurav, if you could just move on to the next slide, we'll quickly delve into the success story which we've been able to deliver for a brand like Bella Vita, so that, and I would like to invite Durgesh himself and hear it from the horse's mouth itself to understand how NDD was able to scale up their experience for their customers. Durgesh, why don't you tell us about your journey of enabling speedier deliveries to the customers?
Yeah, thank you, Sumit. So before moving ahead, I would like to say a big thanks to Vineet for such a detailed explanation and the benefits of the NDD and XDD. So one thing is very clear after this discussion is, one, if you want to be into the game, then the speed is the key. Then you'll have to be serve to your consumer as faster as possible. But Vineet, your journey is not going to be so easy from now, because the industry would always want more from you.
Yeah,
Always.
Okay. So yeah, as we know that we have started with you almost 1.5 year back with the NDD and SDD kind of a services. So at the initial days, we started with a few lane where our volume was close to 10 to 12% with the introduction of Delhi, NCR, and Mumbai and Bangalore. But as the time has moved on and Shiprocket has helped us to introduce more and more lanes, firstly, it was limited to the intra-city. Now we are available into the intercity as well. Like we are available in few of the the most famous lane like Mumbai Pune, and Delhi Agra, Delhi Jaipur, as you have explained, Delhi Ambala, Delhi Ludhiana also, and in the southern part also. So with the introduction of intracity and intercity all together, we have moved our volume from 10 to 12 to is 23 to 25% recently. So, and obviously by introduction of more and more lanes, this volume is going to be increased. Yeah. Gaurav, can you move on to the next one?
Yeah, Gaurav, if you could just move to the next slide.
Yeah. So these are the some few data touch point on the introduction of this NDD and SDD services. So as we can see very clearly, our intent attempt percent has increased by 28%. It was 67% earlier, which has moved to the 95% by introduction of this NDD and SDD only. And if we talk about the adherence in terms of a delivery, a first day delivery at which we call as an FASR also, first attempt successful ratio, it was 48% earlier without the NDD and SDD. Now it has been moved to the 85%. So again, I would say wow in terms of a delivery percentage. In terms of a overall conversion also, including the the pan India load, there has been an incremental of 2% in terms of a services also. And if we talk about a COD conversion, obviously that there's a natural thing at, if I have placed an order or at a COD and I'll get my delivery within a day or maybe the next day, then the chances of conversion would always be higher as compared to a longer TED. If my COD order will come after 7 days, then maybe my mind has been changed, something like that. So at a overall also there is a 4% increase incremental effect in terms of a COD conversion. Gaurav, can you please move on to the next? Yeah, as we have talked about the incremental in terms of a TED, incremental in terms of overall delivery, and the NDD and SDD delivery. So apart from that if I am available at a faster delivery, my product is available for the consumer within a very stipulated time, then an overall conversion incremental would always be there, as you know, my abundant cart will be would be lower, because if my consumer will see the product that it will be delivered by, you know, the X hour, or maybe by tomorrow, then the chances of conversion would always be higher.
Yeah, I think that's
So
a
this
very
is all about
important
the-
point that you have touched upon here, Durgesh. I think the magic is not only on the output numbers, which you are already seeing in your case also, where, you know, your first attempt delivery success rate improves from 45 to 85%, and your overall delivery conversions improved by 4% in COD in case of COD and 2% overall. I think the magic is also upper funnel, which probably Shiprocket also is not able to see it very often, right? Which is on the upper funnel, which happens between the add to cart and the final checkout from the cart, right? I remember during the Amazon days also, you know, there's a metric that we used to track over, and I'm sure all the D2C brands and you also yourself would be tracking some of these metrics, which we used to call it as how many glance views or how many views I've been able to get on a brand page. From a brand page view or a glance view, how many customers I've been able to make them to add it to the cart. And from add to cart, how many customers I've been able to make to final checkout, right? I think we often forget that in these three journey stages also, communicating the right timelines of delivery, right? And also communicating and winning the confidence and you know, trust of the customers by communicating a faster timeline deadline also plays a very, very important role in the overall conversion history of that particular order or that particular glance view history from that customer, right? And in fact, I remember we had done some surveys and some studies during the Amazon days also, and we have corroborated once we come here also during you know, my interactions with Shiprocket folks over here. There is a 4 to 5% delta on overall conversion by improving the speed by 1 day, right? What I mean by that is, if I was converting at 90, maybe I'll start converting at about 4 to 5% better on 90%, which is about 2% overall, right? In terms of the overall conversion. I think it's delighted to see that we are also corroborating on the same numbers over here, and some of the numbers are reflecting for your brand also over here. Plus, also very interesting data point, and in fact, that is also getting corroborated from the other products that we offer at Shiprocket, which is faster, which is our flagship checkout product, and also very recently launched Promise, which helps customer or brands rather, you know, offer a definitive timeline on their detail pages versus a range of the timeline. Now, there are enough number of customer surveys that has been done by brands in the past, which very clearly suggests that one of the ways to gain trust of the consumer to shop on their website is to actually offer a exact timeline, right? And if we were to put ourselves in the shoes of the customer and go to a website which offers order now, get it in 5 to 7 days, versus somebody calling it out at the detail page, order now and get it on 17th of June, or let's say 15th of June, right? It's a stark difference with which we view that D2C website from a trust perspective. And hence, naturally flowing from there, I think it will be very, very, it will not be surprising to see that, you know, your add to carts will increase and your final conversions from the carts will increase once we start offering some of these finer things. It's a very small thing, but we often miss as a brand during our initial days of the journey. But again,
Also,
it makes a lot of a difference. Yeah, over to you, Durgesh.
Metrics which cannot be quantified in terms of, but it's we are missing out is here as a repeat percentage. So if I would delight
Absolutely.
my consumer within a time which I have promised, my repeat percentage would always be higher, and ultimately which will result into my lower cost, because ultimately my organic traffic is going to be increased.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I think, thank you, Durgesh, for sharing your insights. We'll quickly move on to, you know, Vineet once again to take us through the rest of the details. I think it's very interesting.
Before we
Drone deliveries are next up on the slide.
Gaurav,
So Vineet,
before
over to you.
you go back to previous slide. Just wanted to share more. One more. Gaurav, one more previously. Go back. Yes, this one. So thank you, Durgesh, for sharing this. Coming from you, it means a lot for our audience, right? And thank you for sharing your inputs.
Thank you so much.
Specifically, I was going through the Q&A also on what are the questions, and I thought we should answer it right here, right? Durgesh also mentioned, Sumit also mentioned, right? Somebody said that normal couriers are able to deliver 60%, 70%, right? Well, that is true, right? Well, that is true. Can you offer to your customers that reliability? No, right? It is going to be 60% one day, 30% the next day, 65% the other day, right? Can you tell your customer the shipment will come the next day? If you will tell, you will fail on 40 to 50% of the scenarios, right? And then there are going to be those anxious calls from customers, bad customer experience. You will be investing into customer support. You will be doing service recovery and all those things. If you're able to commit to the seller that, okay, I'm going to deliver it next day, you need to do it 95 to 98% of the time. The number here says 95. I think we are right now at 97 and 98% next day attempt, right? So this is more about reliability. The traditional normal couriers are not designed to do it same day or next day. It is by chance, or say by the design of the current network, they deliver some percentage on the next day, right? But then if there is some sale, some rainfall, some manpower issue, they're not going to solve for the same day or next day. They're going to solve for the cost, right? That is how the operations are designed. That is how the processes are designed, right? But in a same day, next day setup, if there is on rainfall, if there is manpower issue, people are going to still solve it for next day. That, okay, I've committed to Bella Vita, I've committed to Mama, I've committed to Pilgrim that, okay, we'll deliver in next day. We have to do it. We have to find means to solve for next day delivery or same day delivery. Yeah, we can go to the drone slide now. So guys, so while we were talking about same day and next day delivery, we thought what better than a drone to deliver shipments, right? While the West has been talking on it from a very, very long time, entrepreneurs in India have been able to solve it at scale. And we have been able to give this proposition to our prominent brands as well, right? Bella Vita is one of the brands which is using drone delivery. Mamaearth is also there. Boat is also there. So we have been able to also give that delightful experience to consumers via the drone delivery, right? It's live in my location as well, right? It's such a wonderful experience from a consumer point of view. You order, getting your shipment via drone. So we'll go through a video on how the drone delivery part looks like. Yeah, Gaurav, can you play it? Yeah. So this is the drone taking the shipment, right? This is how the shipment is placed. There are multiple ways to place the shipment. And this is how the drone is going, right? This is a live video in Gurgaon. It's happening. So we are doing it from last 6 months. Happens on a daily basis, right? And this is how the shipment is getting delivered via the drone. Shipment. So the drone will pick the shipment from your warehouse, take it to the endpoint near the society, take it to the pod, and the runner will take it to the society, right? Runner will sit just outside the society and will be delivering it, right? So end to end, right? So we have the warehouse in Patodi, and this delivery happened in Sector 50, Gurgaon, right? There is a 40-kilometer distance. We delivered the shipment in 12 minutes. Can you deliver in the traffic the shipment in 3 to 4 hours? I don't think so, right? Would be impossible. You can't commit every day, right? But can you do it through drone in 15, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour every day without fail? Yes. So this is already live. We are doing it in Gurgaon right now. The orders can get picked up 2 to 3 p.m. and will get delivered to the end destination to the consumers same day by 9 p.m., 8 p.m., right? We delivered. So till 9 p.m., everything will get delivered, but right, you will see 5, 6, 7, 8 p.m. deliveries as well. So this is already live. In case you guys have a warehouse in Gurgaon, definitely share your request we'll be happy to make it live for you guys as well. Gaurav, can you go to the next slide? So we'll now talk about the network, right? What is the network that we have built? If you're a brand, what can you offer? What can you commit to your brands, to your consumers in terms of SDD, NDD network? This is the same day delivery coverage of what we have been able to make it live. If I talk about 12 months back, right, only I think 1-2 names would be there. We would be saying that, okay, we can do same day delivery maybe in Delhi and in Bangalore. Mumbai is a difficult geography to solve and all those things, right? But today we are live in all the key metros. If you're a seller in Delhi, you can offer same day deliveries to customers in Delhi, Noida, Gurugram, Ghaziabad, Faridabad. If you are a seller in Mumbai, you can give it to Mumbai, Thane. Bangalore, we are covering Bangalore, Jigni, Hostake, and in Hyderabad also we are covering it. Right, so this is live. All we need in same day delivery is, I think, a minimum of 50 to 100 shipments per day to be delivered, right? And you have to imagine the network as well, right? It will not go to the hubs, right? This does not operate like a typical hub and spoke model, right? It works on the dynamic hub concept, right? Where the shipment will be picked up from your warehouse. Some level of sorting will be done there and shipment will move for the deliveries, right? This is how and normal couriers are not doing it, right? If your normal courier partner is telling you they can do it, I don't think so, right? We have solved it with smaller partners who understand the demographics. So Mumbai is a difficult terrain, right? It's horizontally very lengthy, right? So we have been able to solve it for Mumbai as well, right? We have been able to cover it Thane as well. Over to the NDD coverage. Gaurav, can you move to the next slide? So this is intra-city, right? This is same city NDD. So a typical pickup in this happens around 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 6 p.m. in the evening as the seller desires, right? And the shipment delivery happens the next. So this is live in Delhi, Bangalore. So all the key metros, this is live. We are also live in places like Ludhiana, Patna, Nagpur, Vijayawada, Indore, Raipur, Bhubaneswar, and the list is only growing. The list is only growing. We are getting more and more requests to make more cities live, right? So I think the last 8-10 that you see, we have made that live in last 3 to 4 months. Got to move to the next slide. This is about intercity, right? What can I offer? If I'm a seller in Delhi, what can I offer? I can definitely offer Delhi, right? But that was a good proposition 12 months back. Right now, I can offer next day delivery to a customer sitting in Agra, Ambala, Chandigarh, Dehradun, Haridwar, Jaipur, and many more cities, right? Same is the thing with Mumbai. We are covering 10 plus cities through Mumbai. So we are covering the zone B part, right? We are covering the entire zone B part, which is typically a 500-kilometer distance, which can be covered through road in 6 to 8 hours. We're solving it right now. If there is any more cities you feel you have volumes, we're not covering it here, definitely share in comments. We'll be happy to make it live. From Bangalore, I think there are close to 20 to 25 cities that are live. Mysore is live, Coimbatore is live, Hubli is live, Kachipuram is live, all those cities are live, right? So this was about mainstream cities. We also went to Alwar, right? There is a seller belt in Alwar that we have. They wanted to deliver it to Delhi, Gurgaon. We have made it possible, right? We will be adding more cities there. We have solved it in Ludhiana also. We have solved it in Coimbatore also. Chandigarh is not covered here. We have solved it for Chandigarh sellers also, right? If you are a seller in Chandigarh, we will be able to deliver Delhi, Gurugram, and Gurugram next day as well, right? And then to the next slide, right? Then again, right to the original thought that again, I have a warehouse in Delhi. My seller is sitting in Mumbai. My customer is sitting in Mumbai, or my customer is sitting in Bangalore. My brand team is telling me to open a warehouse. Don't open a warehouse. Warehouse is not needed, right? We can deliver it next day, Delhi to Mumbai, Delhi to Bangalore, Delhi to Hyderabad, all those cities, and then again connecting all the metros. If you talk about traditional normal couriers, right, even the best of them, right, would have a next day attempt of 5 to 10%, and that's also not guaranteed. Right? It's average 5 to 10% that happens. We've been able to solve it at scale for all those cities. So 90%, we and with a 90% adherence, right? This also factors in the airline load factor, right? So, but we have been able to solve for it, right? So 90% of the time we will be able to attempt on the next day. And this network, I don't think is live with any one single partner, right? It's multi-model that we have solved over the past 12 months, and we have been able to make it live for our key sellers. And again, we are able to offer it to the audiences as well. Next slide. So guys, this was the network. We will be sharing I think the slides as well in terms of what our network is. We are open to Q&A in case you want to do SDD, NDD, do share this QR code, show your interest. Our team will reach out to you to onboard on Shiprocket for all the SDD, NDD related services that we have. Over to you, Gaurav, for the questions that we have.
Yeah, Gaurav, can we have the QR code slide also open for more time? I also see a lot of questions already on the chat box, which are pertaining to what is the rate card? How can I start some, SDD, NDD service in some cities and all that? I think, Vineet, if you want to quickly address some details as to how any brand can enable themselves to start using NDD service or even drone service, what are the rate cards? Which are the place that they can go to actually discover the rate card and so on and so forth. Some of the details will be very helpful. I think it will answer a lot of queries for some of the audiences that we already have seen.
If you are interested in SDD, NDD, share your request here. It's also live on the panel, right? You go to our panel, you'll see a list of courier partners to choose from, right? And you'll see next day delivery courier partners. It's already live for Mumbai, Bangalore, or Delhi, Bangalore sellers, right? We'll be making it live for more cities as well. So you can go to our panel, choose a next day delivery option. Courier will come, pick the shipment, and 100% make an attempt the next day, right? Rest assured, we've figured out the process there. You just need to go to the panel or show the interest to this QR code as well. Gaurav, what are the other questions?
So, we need somebody from the attendees are asking, how is NDD network different from current courier network, which is doing more than 80 to 90% NDD for major metros? So I guess this is an interesting question. Would you like to take this up? Yeah?
Definitely, right. So like I pointed, again, the number is not 80, 90. This number would typically look like 60, 65%, even for the best of the couriers. But again, the operations are not designed to do a next day delivery. This is happening just as per the process. The 60 can move to 30. The 60 can move to 65, right? And then you cannot commit to your customers, right? Can you make a promise basis a 60, 65%? No, right? There has to be that reliability factor that, okay, are you committed to doing NDD? Ask from your normal courier partners, are you committed to doing NDD, right? Would you do it every day without fail? The answer is going to be no, right? Answer is going to be a big no, because they have not sold for it and they don't have control as well, right? While they want the shipment to get delivered the next day, they don't have the control on the process design, right? They have to go back to the drawing board, make some changes in the network to make sure it is happening every day next day. So the number would look like 60, 30, 60, 30 and all those things. And then there are going to be flood of customer queries. And then you are going to be a brand with low trust, right? And you will never be able to commit it, right? You will say, my shipments come in 2 days. कुछ एक दिन में आ जाती हैं and कुछ 2 दिन में, right? But then where is the promise? We are saying we need to commit to the customer. This is coming next. We are going to commit to the customer. This is coming same day. And this is going to happen in 98% of the scenarios. We are not going to breach on the customer. So this is how it is different. On a process level, operations level, again, right, it's a different design. The normal couriers would work on a hub and spoke model. The pickup boy will come, will take the shipment to a first mile hub. They will do some level of sorting there. then they will dispatch it to delivery hubs, then delivery hubs will do the OFD, shipment will get attempted. There are 3-4 legs in between. So shipment is exchanging hands 3-4 times. In a typical entity network, courier guy will come, pick it up. Either they will use the dynamic hub. When I say dynamic hub, they will do the sorting there itself, right? Or they will take it to one point and deliver it to the end customers. So the exchange of the hands is less, right? That is what the network is doing, right? The network, the design is solving for it, right? Rather than the promise. It has to be, the inputs need to be solved for it. So that is how it is different.
Thank you, Vineet. Vineet, we are getting a lot of questions on drone deliveries. That what is the cost to deliver one shipment from Delhi NCR through drone? Is there any rate card? As it is asked by Vaibhav from the attendees, and Sony is also asking when will be the drones service will be available in Pune. And Vikas is asking how many courier companies do you have for SDD and NDD? Can you name them? So kind of some common questions around courier partners and drone deliveries. So we can take them all in one go. Also, somebody is appreciating Durgesh. Your products are really great. My family uses them. So yeah, Bella Vita is great. Yeah, I also use them. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So again, to answer the queries on the drone delivery part, we are currently live in Gurgaon. We are doing it from Gurgaon to Gurgaon. We can also do Gurgaon to Noida as well. This is typically live from a warehouse location, right? So some slight setup is needed to make the drone delivery work. Typically, a small space is needed. Happens more in the warehouse spaces, but in case you are a seller with a significant amount of shipments in Gurgaon, right, we will be able to make it live for you, right? And when I say significant amount, there's typically 30 to 50 shipments a day will also do the deal, right? We will be able to make it live, I think in next one day, right? It won't take us more than 24 hours to make it live for you guys in Gurgaon, right? So if you're a seller in Gurgaon, you have a daily volume of 30, 40, 50 to solve for, and you want to offer drone delivery to your customers, right? It can be done. Share a request. Sumit, me, or somebody from the team can share the rate card and all those details, right? We are trying to get live in more cities, right? The compliance part, taking approvals, a lot happens on the back end to make the drone delivery live, right? It needs to be safe. It needs to be environmentally friendly also. So we do a lot of work on the back end to make it live in any of the cities. We're working to make it live in other cities as well. Gurgaon is live. Kolkata, we will be making it live very soon. And we are working to add more metros, right? This is a solution we are invested in and will make more cities live as we speak, right? What was the other question, Gaurav? Sorry.
Thanks, Vineet. So basically, Vaibhav asked about what is the cost to deliver one shipment in Delhi through drone. Is there any rate card for this service? So this is around, I guess, cost of drone delivery.
I think again, right, when you talk about drone delivery, a typical, and people would think of very different premiums, right? When we started the drone delivery and we were interacting, even in our office, right, people would come up like, kitna cost karta hai? Is it 1,000 rupees? Is it 500 rupees per delivery? No, the cost. So we have solved for cost as well, right? We understand that if we have to scale this proposition, this needs to be cost effective as well, right? So the premiums to a typical network, a normal delivery or a NDD, a premium would be a 40 to 50% higher, not 5x, 10x of the current delivery cost, right? If you want to deliver to a customer, they're only going to be 40 to 50% higher cost. So if the typical cost look like a 40, 50, 60 rupees, this would typically look like 60, 70, 80 rupees to make a delivery, right? So it will not burn a hole in your pocket to make the drone delivery, but again, the kind of delight that it will provide to the consumer is going to be unparalleled.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think just to add to that, Vineet's point, Vaibhav, drone delivery specifically currently is an invite only kind of a program or a service. because there are, as Vineet explained, compliances which needs to be followed through, some checks and balances which needs to be in place. We need to measure your size of the product, size of the packaging type, the content in the product, and so on and so forth. It's highly regulated also by the government agencies right now. And hence, we do not have like a published rate card for that. But whether if you are, or anybody for that matter, if anybody is interested in understanding more about the costs aspect of drone services, I would, highly recommend them to get in touch with their account managers if they enjoy an account management service, or drop in a query at our call center number, and we'll be happy to get back to you. Somebody from our team will actually get back to you, understand your requirement, and create a custom tailor-made solution for you and for your brand.
I see one more question on this. What if any company does not have high volume of orders per day? How can we give SDD and NDD right to the? So this is live, right? This was one area where we felt we were not doing justice. We have spent time, and any seller, right? If you have 1 shipment a day, 2 shipment a day, right? We will be able to provide NDD services. There's already live in Delhi. There's already live in Bangalore. We'll be making it live in more cities as we speak, and it should go live in next 4 to 6 weeks, right? Not 4 to 6 months, but rather 4 to 6 weeks, right? So if you are a seller in Delhi, go to our panel. You will see a next day delivery courier and the price against it. Just choose that courier and you will be able to make it live for your customers.
Thanks, Vineet. I guess there was a question for Sumit, I guess, in starting. That Sumit, is the same day delivery service of Shiprocket chargeable or any plans? I guess we have already addressed this. Vineet has addressed this question, right? And can you share some examples of same day delivery till what time we can offer it to our sellers? Okay. I guess there is some marketplace owner maybe, because they are asking what time we can offer it to our sellers. So we can take this question, right? And Dhruv Garg is asking about if he can connect with somebody from Shiprocket team regarding delivery time. And
Yeah, if I could quickly take that question. Thanks, Gaurav. On the examples of same day delivery until what time we are using. So some of the players which we spoke about during my slide, which I was presenting, people like Snitch, Novero, Mama Earth, even Bella Vita for that matter, we use, or Boat for that matter, uses same day delivery services offerings through Shiprocket. In terms of the timings of SDD as a service, I think we can pick up till, again, this is all dependent on the load also, and on a case-to-case basis from where the pickup needs to happen, if it is too near or far from the city limits and so on and so forth. However, in a typical scenario, and Vineet, correct me if I'm wrong, we can pick up till about 1 p.m. in the day and deliver on the same day till about 8-9 p.m. in the night, right? So that's the typical outer limits, I would say,
Yes.
which we can adhere to. Again, it is dependent on the load and also the nearness of the pickup location from the city limits and so on and so forth. The farther we go from the city limits, or the farther we go in terms of extending the pickup timings, the pin code serviceability will start becoming restricted, because we have to, the pickup boys or the delivery agents have to wade through the traffic, still, sort it out as per the delivery pin code areas or the localities and so on and so forth, and distribute towards last mile deliveries and all. So that's how the typical network in terms of the pickup timings and delivery timings in an SDD perspective kind of work. There was another question, I think from Dhruv, if I'm not wrong. Can we connect with somebody at Shiprocket team to improve our delivery timeline? Dhruv, to answer your question, I think there's one very easy step that you can do. If you are using Shiprocket panel, in the courier settings, we have a setting called fastest. In the courier recommendation. So we have various recommendations where you can actually use cheapest as a logic, fastest as a logic, or let's say based on performance, Shiprocket recommended, which is based on the best courier performance in that lane and so on and so forth. If you want to improve your delivery timelines overall for your network, for your customers, you can simply switch on fastest as a courier choice on your panel, which will help you improve your delivery timelines. If you want to specifically understand from your data backwards perspective, please do reach out to our call center, helpline center, and drop us a request over there. Somebody from the seller performance team will actually, set up a one-on-one call with you, and we'll be more than happy to walk you through to help you more, give you more insights. For example, if you are at a sizable scale and if there is, let's say, concentration of orders on one SKU versus the other, and if it makes sense for you to replicate inventory closer to your customers by using warehousing services, some of those data points and insights can be worked, custom made for you, and we'll be more than happy, and our teams will be more than happy to offer it to you. Yeah.
Thanks, Sumit. There's one, two questions more that how many courier companies you have for SDD and NDD? Can you please name them? It has been asked by Vikas.
I think Vineet will be the best person to answer it. Vineet, if I'm not wrong, there are 10 courier companies on SDD ND service that we use. Why don't you throw some light on that?
Yes, yes. Guys, there are 10 plus partners that we work with, right, on the back end. And again, right, these are smaller partners, smaller regional players who have solved for specific geographies. So if I talk about Bangalore, we have companies like Loadshare, Pico, Shadowfax working with us. And for example, right, Pico has solved for the Bangalore bit. They're the experts there, right? And then we trust them to solve it for the consumers. In Mumbai, again, we have 4 or 5 partners. Shadowfax is there, Loadshare is there, Pickendel is there, Dependo is there, right? These are the multiple partners that we work with, right? It is important to note that these are smaller partners. And again, it's very important to ensure the process is getting met on a daily basis. We have designed the processes with them, ensured there is strict SOP there signed with all these partners to ensure there is no breach, right? So it's more on the back-end process that we have solved with them. On the front end, on the service part, we say Shiprocket is solving it for you. So if you are a seller interested in doing it, we will solve it for the partners, right? We understand, okay, if say X partner has some stress in Bangalore, we'll ensure Y partner is doing it for you guys, right? And we don't breach on the committed customer timeline. So we are very, very peculiar about those parts. So we will solve it for you guys. But yes, these are some of the names that are on the back end doing it for us.
So thank you, Vineet. We'll be taking the last question. I guess there's some questions in the Q&A section also. So Shubham is saying, can I get a recording of this webinar? I joined late. Yes, Shubham, you can get this recording. We'll be sending an email to all the registrants who have registered for this webinar who could not attend because of any XYZ reason. And I guess Mohammed is asking why not in Chennai when SDD will be live in Chennai. Kindly reply. Okay. So
we can do share your interest. We can do SDD in Chennai. If it was not mentioned in the deck, we probably missed it, but yes, we can do it.
Freddy is asking, I need connections from Bangalore to metros, NDD.
We are doing it. We are currently live. We are doing it for some of the brands. So do share your interest. This can be made live in the next 24 to 48 hours for your consumers. Do share it.
So yeah, Harsh, I guess Harsh Agarwal is already our seller. He's writing that I'm already using Shiprocket from last 3 years. How can I start 1-day delivery in metro cities? I guess the whole webinar has also answered this question that how you can enable SDD NDD with us with Shiprocket. And question are coming in. Madhu Shuda is asking, do you have NDD services from Bangalore to Kerala?
Yeah. We don't have that live right now, but let me take that as an input to make it live. Right, we'll definitely get back on this.
Tarun has asked, NDD SDD can be done for specific SKUs or it will be applicable for all SKUs. I guess Durgesh has already answered that question. Tarun, I guess you got your answer, right? And that's all. That's guys. I guess we have mostly answered all the questions because we are short of time. We have taken like 90% of the questions. Anything else, anyone you want to ask, you can directly reach out to us. You can write to us at sales@shiprocket.com, or you can write to sumit.jain@shiprocket.com or vineet.buddhiraja@shiprocket.com. Both of these guys will be excited to like resolve your queries and will be answerable like to any of the queries you want to ask about Shiprocket or the services that Shiprocket provides. Thank you guys. Lovely audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks,
sir.
Gaurav. Thank you, Durgesh, for joining us today and then spending your time and sharing your valuable insights into the whole journey as well as on SDD as NDD program in specific. Thank you all. Thanks to the audiences and thank you. Thanks, Vineet.